Well, it's thinned down. It's smaller trains today, just a couple with one in the caboose, I think it's fair to say. 10 out, we're going for it.
Well, Gorka Igazira really driving hard on the front, and just behind him is the big, tall Australian Rory Sutherland, a real protector. Valverde smiling, just that tucked in. You can just see the wind's coming from the left-hand side. That's why the riders are in the gutter. Movistar happy to force the other teams to move round the outside. Takes far more energy to move round the left-hand side. That's why Movistar are keeping things in the gutter. A little bit of a helping hand there to make sure Valverde is in prime position.
Yes, he is. Michael Valgren, by the way, has just dropped in. Luis Leon Sanchez is also up towards the pointy end for Astana in the pale blue. And as you look down, you'll see the big queue of Quebecer Charity splat on the back of Dimension Data. Steve-O is up there, but he's the work today is for Mojave Kudus. There's Movistar. They've got a pincer going on at the moment, left and right of the pack as we look at it. Orica-Scott not to be undone or unbowed, and there's Simon Gerrans not far down the order as well. In fact, a little bit further down perhaps than he would like is Michael Matthews, but Sunweb have done so much work today, they're starting to shed personnel.
He's the sort of rider as well. He's got a great team around him. Matthews can move his way through, pilot himself through the peloton particularly well. The team believe in him. He's delivered that big win yesterday. Another rider that I saw quite near the head of affairs is one of the favourites for the overall in this race, wearing the white jersey as Colombian road champion. That's Sergio Henao of Team Sky. He's got several Team Sky riders around him protecting him from the wind, but now it's Bora on the front.
It is Bora on the front. I'm actually looking for the green of Cannondale. It's just off the right-hand side of your screen, by the way. And don't be surprised if Cy Clark works hard for Rigoberto Urán today. He was up there yesterday. Urán, surprisingly, in 7th place finish. It's a bit more of a sprinter's day, so it would be a surprise if they're there. But then again, frankly, I'm given to accepting surprises. We've got 2.3 kilometers now until we peak and then head in on that high-speed run for home.
Now, and if you're wondering who the rider in the white jersey was, that actually was Jay McCarthy, sat in second wheel at the moment. Second place yesterday for him. Bit of a surprise result, but he's a very punchy rider, but feeling very, very good quite clearly. And this is the climb they've got to crest before the plummet down into the line, as you said, Carlton. A great shot there of what still lies ahead. A long straight road and that nasty kick up before the drop down to the line.
Well, we're sort of centre of the Basque Country. We'll be heading back to the coast tomorrow. Today it's this roller coaster run into or in and around Rioja. It's not been the most enthralling stage, but what a finale it's likely to be. With 7.6 to go, they haven't tipped over the peak just yet.
They certainly haven't. You can just see, look at the shape of the bunch. You got the two distinct arrowheads, one on the left, one on the right, both moving independently as well as riders fight for position. This is where the road starts to kick up. This is going to be the key point here, and I think it's Simon Geschke on the front for Sunweb, making sure they can try and pilot Michael Matthews over the crest of this climb in a good position.
Look at how hard they're working for him as well, and you can see his yellow jersey, left-hand side of your screen, working very, very hard to be in position. Jay McCarthy in the white jersey, not that far off the shoulder of Matthews as well. Through come Orica-Scott with Simon Gerrans, who was denied yesterday. He wants a big part of today, and he'll probably have some of it. Bragging rights most certainly to somebody today. So they'll round this little citadel, and then we head down into the valley. It looks reasonably flat from up here, but it feels anything but, especially at this kind of pace. This is that little test as we transition. We'll go up towards that chapel and the citadel, I beg your pardon, and then we come off and head down for our finish line. Great dramatic finish they've built in for us today.
Absolutely beautiful, and that's actually quite steep. We didn't have too much information in relation to the steepness of this climb, but look at that. It is quite tough. Things are fanning out at the front. Lots of riders actually being detached from the group now.
6 and 8% we're hearing, incidentally, as we get to the top here. And then when we come down off the other side, it'll be a real tip. It's also quite narrow as you come through town, as you will see in a few moments' time. That's why there's been a race to get to this point. So, bidding rights, I think, for the descent. There is, there's the Mata Volante, incidentally, but they're thinking the longer game, and suddenly it goes from 8 wide to single file at the pointy end here. They're going to be first to tip, and Orica-Scott are in a great place today.
It does look like it was the navy blue of Orica-Scott really lining things out. That short, steep climb has really thinned out the field with only 6.4 k's to go. and just as they come out of the town, that's when the road starts to drop off, and it's a plummet all the way down to the finish.
Yeah, it's not pleasant either on occasion, and in fact it'll be concrete walls and hairpins, and there's the first of them. They're back down onto the highway. It's a nice little cheeky one for them to bring to us. And so we begin our descent and our rush into town. That's been a real sort out. Look how they've stretched here. It could snap.
It's actually, I think that hairpin there has actually sorted things out, narrowed things, thinned out that bunch more than the actual climb itself. That's why positioning is absolutely crucial. So hard now to move up and gain your spaces.
Another switchback coming right now. Clever work by Orica-Scott as they come off away from the citadel, and now you can see the descent. In fact, it's more accented than perhaps you had thought. 5.6 to go, pace very high at the moment, driving it on, and you can do when you've got the wind at your back, and indeed I guess the sun towards your side. No glare here, but they're sailing into the void right now. 5.4 kilometers to go, not quite at full chat, but we'll be there any moment.
Well, Orica-Scott really taking things up, and these last few kilometers are really going to tick by very fast indeed. Full sacrifice now to try and thin things out. Riders now moving back outside the outside of the bunch to try to look. Riders glancing around. Orica-Scott still keeping that tempo high. Who is going to take it up next?
5 kilometers to go. Gregor Boller is going to go solo in this one. Look at this, where the team's trying to reassemble. It's a difficult task. If you weren't up in the top 20, I suggest you've probably lost your teammates with 4.8 kilometers to go, because the pace is that high. Teams skirmishing, trying to find a little bit of view of the road. Shortest way home is the left-hand side. That's where primary territory is at the moment. Ben Swift is in there, by the way, for UAE Emirates with their golden helmets. You'll pick them out in a while. Red, I beg your pardon. Bahrain are also there with Gregor Boller. Sky also have options today. Michael Kwiatkowski may have to go solo, but I think he's got some backup here, and they're still looking after Enau. We're not at the 3K marker, which is why it's still a lockdown.
It certainly is. They're all spread across the road now. They're heading. The wind is coming from the side. Still Orica on the left-hand side. Now we've got Alejandro Valverde moving to the centre of the screen as well.
He wants a long one. He was denied yesterday. Is he going to go today? Well, yes is the answer, and it's Valverde that's on his case at the moment. Also sailing through, Simon Yates does not want to be out of position before that 3K marker. Could have an option later on today. For the brave, you've got to be, I suggest.
Well, Michał Kwiatkowski is on the wheel of Yates in 4th position, the former world road champion. Remember, he won Milan-San Remo. Very fast finisher indeed. He looks full of confidence, very well positioned, and still Alaphilippe driving hard on the front. He's got no hope on the overall classification now, so he's sacrificing himself for his teammates. I think they're definitely going to look after Richeze today.
Yeah, I think so. Valgren is the chosen son for Astana. They're just about to approach the 3K marker. There it is. So safe if anything happens incident-wise for the GC men, and you might well see this thinning down as some of they don't exactly sit up, but at least try and just come home within a decent group of other general classification contenders. 2.9 to go then. This is where it starts to unwind. We go straight. There's a gentle right, there's a gentle left at the Flamme Rouge. At 500 meters there's a high speed right, but they'll have options. Shortest way through will be to stay on the right hand side of it as you take that right hand turn. Little kink with about 100 meters to go as well, which will bring us to the line, and everyone wants a part of what is a very good surface. Good surfaces, by the way, and wide highways can often spell disaster because it offers up an awful lot of options to teams, and you get a mobbing of the road. We've only got 2.3 k's remaining.
Well, that was a hell of a turn there by Alaphilippe. Nobody initially wanted to come round, but now it's FDJ, the French team, leading things up at the front. Remember, they had a very good finish yesterday with Roux, so that's why they're taking things up. And also now moving up in the yellow and the black is Lotto and Oyombo, looking after Martins and Lobato.
Yep, I think it'll be JJ Lobato is their chosen son today, but we'll wait and see. Francis de Jure really mean business. Raoul Mollard and Eking as well have done a lot of work today. There's still remains Simon Yates almost following the centre line here on behalf of Orica-Scott. I thought he'd be looking after Simon Gerrans, but I haven't spotted him just for the time being. I'm sure he's in there. Richeze makes a move as well. Alaphilippe's been very brave, and here we go. Sunweb just starting to show their hand. There is the yellow jersey jersey on the back, don't forget, of Michael Matthews today. McCarthy wears white, incidentally, but I think he's probably going to be working for Mühlberger unless he's been given the get-go himself. Manny Buchmann as well has also got to turn a pace. Katusha can't be outdone by Restrepo either, and they're working hard for Lotto-Soudal here. Sean De Bie and Tosh van der Sande really doing a great job of pushing on here. Oh, Lotto just come to the front, and this is your first attempt going from range here.
This looks like Sean De Bie has just attacked off the front for Lotto. He's been countered by one of the riders from Team Lotto, El Yumba. I think it might be George Bennett closing things down. Remember, this is a plummet to the line, really high speeds as we come into the last 800 metres.
Yes, we do. McCarthy's still in there as well. There is Matthews wearing the yellow jersey. Here's your final turn. There's not much time to go, I'm afraid, once this unwinds, and they're going very, very long indeed. Super push here. Heads up we go, and the yellow jersey versus Gerrans, I think it is. Oh, kick at the line. Absolutely superb lunge by Richeze, who nails it at the very last. You had to be a big man, a brave man, to come to the fore. That was outstanding sprinting. In fact, is it not Albasini surely at the line?
Looked like it was Albasini.
Wow, my life, what a surprise that is at the very last. Good work out front, left it late to mug everybody, and well, he surprised me. Albasini gets in at the very death.
Well, he went early there. Great ride by Albasini. Initially, I thought it was Gerrans. Looks very similar to him on the bike. Albasini can win from a small group, but this was a full-on bunch sprint. Stole a march on the run-in, used that pace. It is Richeze who's coming up very close, but opened up too much of a gap. What an absolutely fantastic victory by the Swiss rider, riding for the Australian squad.
Well, the lunge had it. Honestly, my eyes were drawn to Richeze, who was just beaten at the line there. Absolutely superb. Michael Albasini is supposed to be lead out for Gerrans, but they swapped duties. Clearly feeling the better today, and the Swiss buried everybody.
Well, we've seen Albasini take victories, similar victories from a big group in the Tour of Romandie, but that was a real surprising win. Not one that we definitely thought, well, not a rider that we thought could win that, but well, superb stuff.
Richeze beaten at the death, my apologies. Michael Albasini gets the lunge. Sean De Bie stung into third. Michael Matthews with the same time today, no bonus seconds, don't forget, with a fourth place, likely of course to stay in that leader's jersey. What a day. Wow, we've had some fun, albeit drawn out today, but most of it I think was piled on at the end. Yes, they were waving goodbye to a long old day. Tomorrow we're live at 15:30 Central European time. That's 2:30 in the afternoon in the United Kingdom. It'll be more of a predictable day.